For the past few months, ever since the drop of the Elden Ring DLC, I have been obsessed with this supposed secret ending that is in the game, or apparently it was cut out. I don't know what is wrong with it, but I know it's there. I feel like a conspiracy theorist, but like I don't have the ability to go into the game source code and dig for the ending, and I'm pretty sure if that was the case, somebody would have already found out by now. But I strongly believe that this ending is still in the game. But let me explain to you why. Firstly, let's start off with the most obvious, or I would say obvious, but let's start off with situation 1, the gameplay trailer. The gameplay trailer was the first time we ever saw anything even close to an ending for the Elden Ring DLC, and yet that was the one that got scrubbed. Now, I decided to take notes on this, right? It seems like with the DLC trailer, everything we saw in the gameplay trailer is something that we could experience firsthand in the game. They didn't remove anything. They did change some things, but they only changed 3 things, which were being able to use Torrent in the Frenzied Forest, which we found out that we cannot do for the lore reasons that Frenzied Flame is the only thing that can kill spirits, so Torrent is now afraid that he can truly die. Cool, whatever. Then we have the Black Jail Knight, which was found outside his boss room and has a physical form with the colors. You can see the armor color and all that stuff, which you could argue is not even the Black Jail Knight it's himself as a boss, but is part of the PvP aspect. Somebody just cosplaying as the full Black Jail Knight. Sure, whatever. Then you could find the Dancer of Renard in the Crucellian Coast out and about in the open, which, yes, you find the boss fight in the Crucellian Coast, but not outside. And the last change I almost forgot to mention was, it seems as if they originally planned to have a Black Knight as the boss, but then they had later changed it to the Hippopotamus boss, which I don't think is a good idea because the boss is just too big for a map that small. But still, at the end of the day, we were still able to experience all, I would say 2 of the 3 things, minus Torrent, right? So I was like, okay, cool. Everything we've seen in the trailer is in the game, except for the ending. At the very end of the gameplay trailer, we see Miquella in his all golden gray whatever, right? He extends his arm and we see the shadow tree peel off its black layers into beautiful white light. Cool. But why is that in the gameplay trailer? Gameplay trailer, not the story trailer, the gameplay trailer, which was released on Feb 21st, and then the game or the DLC dropped on the 21st. So we had a 3-month difference. And look, they could have removed it in the 3 months that was there. It's not a Herculean task to do so. But my question would be, why? What purpose does it serve to remove an ending, a possible ending for the DLC? Maybe story-wise they only wanted one ending, or maybe the second one would have given us more questions than answers, but that doesn't even make sense because this is From Software. They do that anyways. They always give us things, or more questions than answers, especially when it comes to the DLC. Shit, we don't know what the vow was between Miquella and Radahn, so there's more questions than answers. I feel like the ending that is in the trailer would have given us the conclusion that we were looking for instead of the more questions, which I guess they could have used to build up to a second DLC. But I don't even think they plan to do that. I'm pretty sure Miyazaki said in an interview that he does not plan on doing a second DLC for the Elden Ring. So again, why? Why? And then you have, sorry for me sounding like an absolute maniac right now, but this is truly how this DLC has made me feel. Anyways, and then we have a mod, right? Hold on, stay with me now. Hold on, all right? There is a mod that is currently out titled The Miquella Dilemma, Age of Compassion Restoration. So this is somebody going into the files, tweaking around, and bringing us back this ending that we were supposed to get, or one of the endings we were supposed to get, in which, okay, you run in the boss fight, warrior, whatever dialogue Miquella says, may your valors always be praised in song, wada wada wada, we fight Radahn phase 1. The moment you beat Radahn phase 1, Miquella steps out, right? Like the usual cutscene. Miquella steps out, and then when he says, surrender to I, Miquella, and my promised consort Radahn, you have the ability to walk to Radahn, interact with him, and then accept or deny the offer to bow down and do Miquella's Age of Compassion shit. Which then if you say no, boom, phase 2 as usual, and then we get the ending that we currently have right now. Which is pretty cool, right? Because that basically is like Bloodborne when they gave us the whole options with Gurman, where you could choose to refuse or you could choose to accept, and then either way you get an ending of its own, which then could give you a new trophy, which I don't know why the DLC doesn't have trophies. Every From Software DLC has trophies associated to it except for this one for some weird reason. But anyways, I'm going on a tangent. This ending exists. Well, at least I believe it exists. Right now we have it accessible through a mod, but if you look at the ending of this mod, or the ending of this showcase of this restoration mod, the way Miquella raises his hand and beams light, right, while you're standing beside Radahn, it feels like that was supposed to lead into the cutscene at the end of the gameplay trailer. And yet we don't have it. Why? Why don't we have it? It's so strange. I swear it's in the game. And another reason, this is my biggest reason to why I believe the ending is still in the game. Let us go together emote. Need I say more? Yes, let me say more. In the Elden Ring DLC, we are afforded 3 emotes. 3 of them, if I remember correctly. 4 technically, right? The 4th one is if you pre-ordered the game, then you get the Miquella's Ring of Light or Miquella's Ring DLC emote, which I have. But no, right? Every emote, the 3 ones that we have, which is May the Strongest One Win, which we use to interact with Dane. Then we have the Oh Mother gesture, which is used to interact with the statue to unlock that secret area where the Shaman village is. And then we have the Let Us Go Together emote, which for some reason has no purpose. Isn't that strange? So out of the 3 emotes that they give us, only one of them doesn't have a use. The other 2 interact with the game itself. So that made me think, wait a minute, does that mean to unlock the secret ending, we have to interact with that emote somehow? Now that's the problem. I don't know how. I don't know if it's you have to use the emote in Radahn's sick at phase 2 before you get nuked, if you have to use it in the beginning of the fight, but you can't use it at the end of the fight, right? Because they're dead. So there has to be a reason for that Let Us Go Together emote, especially when they give you the ability to use it before the ending. So what I mean is that if you get grabbed by Miquella twice, or Radahn phase 2 twice, you get the emote, right? But you also get the emote after the battle. Cool, whatever. Why would you give it to us that early into the boss? I don't know. Has there ever been any other game in From Software where you could get an emote at the end of, or in the middle of a boss battle? I know you technically die, but that's what I mean. Like, you get the gesture from dying, and then you get to use it again instead of boss fight. I don't know if that's ever appeared in any From Software game, except for this Elden Ring DLC, which made me think that the DLC either had a purpose or it has a purpose, and I am on the side of it has a purpose. So I'm trying to figure out, I'm constantly trying to figure out, what do you do with this emote? Because I don't believe it's there just for the sake of being there. It has a use, whether it's to surrender to Miquella and unlock the secret ending, or if it's, I don't know. No, I feel like a maniac right now. And I know you can hear that I'm sounding like a maniac, because there's something in this game that we are supposed to unlock that we haven't. Didn't Miyazaki himself say that there is one secret that's currently in Elden Ring that nobody has discovered yet? One secret. I say it's this ending. It's either this ending or some huge lore drop, but I think it's the ending, alright? So, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you this Age of Compassion Restoration mod, right? Then I'm going to show you, again, the end of the gameplay trailer, okay? I'm going to tie them together, and then you tell me what you think. That's it. I'm going crazy. I'm going back into the game to try to figure out how to get the secret ending, and in the meanwhile, let me know what you think about this. Whether you liked it, whether you disliked it, let me know, alright? That's it. I'm done with the video. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can always be notified every single time I upload. Take care of yourself, drink water, be ever wonderful. Peace, y'all.